All right. Whenever you're ready, I'm good to go.
Okay, sir. So, good afternoon. And
Yes.
yes, I am Anjali Giri, and I'm from UP, but I'm talking to you from Haryana. And I have done my graduation and B.Ed, and I cleared that exam like CTET, UPTET for teaching exam. And simultaneously, I'm married and blessed with one kid, and I'm running a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Learning with Anjali. Yes, sir. That's all about it.
That's great. Thank you so much for inviting me onto your channel. I appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. I've talked to a lot of people from India and another girl from Pakistan, and everyone has a channel, and they're all learning English, and it's really exciting to meet people who are interested in learning English because I've been teaching for 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for giving me appreciation. And sir, you are doing good job. And actually, you are giving us chance to connect with native speaker. That's why we people get to know about how we can talk to an native speaker.
Yeah, that's it's great for me too because I enjoy just talking to people from different parts of the world. I'm really interested in the globe, the whole world. I want to meet people from different cultures and learn something from them. And so you're giving me an opportunity to learn something, which I really appreciate. So it's not just one-sided. It cuts both ways.
Thanks, sir. It sounds good. So, sir, please tell me about yourself a little bit, so our audience will get to know about you very well.
Yeah, sure. I'd love to introduce myself. So, my name is Jack McBain. I'm from the United States. I grew up in Minnesota. That's my home state or province. And I came to Asia to teach English when I was 23 or 24 years old. This is in 2001, long time ago. I'm 46 now, almost 47 years old. So um, I've been teaching. I went to Thailand. That's where my first country was that I taught English in. And my plan was to stay for 1 year, just 1 year and go back to America. And 1 year turned into two, turned into three, turned into 20, 23 years. So I never went home really. I mean, I went home to visit, but I never went home to live again in America. And I fell in love with Asia and I fell in love with teaching. So I got really lucky.
So, sir, how this idea came to your mind? I have to teach English to other people, and how this idea clicked in your mind on that time? Because you were very on young age, I can say 21 is not young age.
Yeah. I was young at the time. The truth is that didn't even know this was a job until I was just searching the internet one day and I came across a job. I don't know what do you call it, job posting, and I thought, hmm, that's interesting. I wonder, what are the qualifications? And the only thing you needed at that time was to have a bachelor's degree, just a 4-year degree in any discipline. It didn't matter what your major was. So I was like, oh, okay, well, then I'll apply. And then I thought, I'll get rejected because I'm not qualified. I don't have any experience. But the school said, yes, we would love to have you come here. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I might have to say yes. Like I wasn't prepared for them to say yes. And so I went there, and teaching for me is kind of a natural fit. I feel comfortable in the classroom, and I like teaching. I don't really like teaching young kids very much. Like, that's a lot of hard work. A lot of classroom management and discipline and stuff, and I don't like that side of it. So I teach university right now, and I've been teaching university for about 18 years, university students, and that's perfect for me because they're adults, but they're still young and they can still have fun and we can laugh together. But I don't have to, you know, I don't have to manage the classroom very much. It's nice.
So, sir, if any students come to nearby you, I have to learn this language. So, in India, on which method will you teach on question? If you come to India,
Hmm.
so first time, in which method, how will you treat to any student?
Oh yeah, I mean, if I don't know, I only know like Korean students, because I teach in Korea. I've been in Korea for a long, long time now. 20, about 18, 19 or 20 years. And I spent about 2 or 3 years teaching in Thailand. And so if I were to go to India to teach, I think it would be great. I think I would have a great experience because my experience with Indian students is they're very hardworking students and they listen really well and they're very polite and appreciative. So I think my experience would be very positive. That would be my guess is if I came to India to teach, it would be a great experience.
Sir, please imagine if I am beginner and I come to in front of you to take tuitions like online, whether it's offline. So on first time, how will you treat me? Like every person wants to learn this language, but they are giving up. It will take time, and I will have to take patience. So on this way, how will you treat?
The way that I would treat a new student, I would treat a new student in India the same as I would treat a new student from Nigeria or Myanmar or any country, Malaysia, Indonesia. It doesn't matter. What you try to do when students are new is you try to expose them to some of the basic points of English and just get them kind of to I guess just to introduce the language to them in a way that's not scary. So it can be very intimidating to learn a new language, and if the teacher is rude about it or is not sensitive and is not kind, then the students will kind of reject it. They say, I don't want to learn English. English is scary. Well, learning any language is going to be difficult no matter what. But a teacher needs to be patient. A teacher needs to be kind. A teacher needs to be, take the time to explain to the student why something is right or wrong so that they can understand their mistakes. So with beginner students, I mean, it depends on how beginner they are. Sometimes you have to start with just learning how to read. And I've taught kids how to read, cat, hat, mat, sat, rat, you just keep changing the consonants and I mean it's just it depends. You have to, I guess at the end of the day, like you have to meet the student where the student is, not where I want the student to be. So whatever your level is, it's my responsibility to adjust my lesson so that you can understand it. But it should also be a little bit challenging so that you can grow. So that's the trick with teaching is not too difficult, not too easy, not too scary, but also not not so simple that it's boring, not boring for the students. It's a tricky job sometimes. You have to really manage a lot of different things and come up with a lesson plan that is going to help the student grow. And you have to really understand where the student is. You have to kind of know what their level is before you can prepare for that.
Right, sir. Now a person wants to learn this language within 15 days, within 2 months. So how is it possible? Because it is our second language, so it will take time absolutely.
Yeah. So, can I ask you a quick question? How long have you been studying English? How long?
Only 2 months ago, I started my journey because Yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
Correct. I have started my journey in 2014, but I quit many times. Like I don't have an environment and with whom I should talk. That's why. And on that time, people were not aware of this language too much. But nowadays, it is very necessary to all. And being a teacher, we should have knowledge of this language properly. You know very well.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I'm amazed if you've done a lot of work in 2 months. Like you really have accomplished a lot. You should be very proud of yourself. Um, that's amazing. That really is amazing. So, for a student like you, I would really challenge you, I would, because you're improving so quickly, you need more challenging material that's going to help you grow even faster so that 1 year from now you're going to be speaking English, you know, um, a year or two later you'll be speaking like a native English speaker. You're going to be at a very high level. I'm really impressed that you were able to accomplish so much in just 2 months. So yeah, I think you're doing the right thing. Like starting a YouTube channel where you get to practice English is great, because there are probably a lot of people out there who are in the same situation as you, and they also want to learn English, but they also just started a couple of months ago, and they're not sure, like, what do I do? You can help them. You can say, this is what I did. I did this, I did this, I did this. This helped me. This didn't help me. This helped me. This didn't help me. And you can kind of become like an online teacher for those students. I think that's a great thing.
I will do. Sir, on which part I should improve? You have been talking to me 15 minutes, so please share me on which part I should do hard work.
I mean, I don't think there's one. I don't think you have one particular weakness that seems, obvious to me. I would just say that, like, I'm just amazed that you're speaking as well as you are, having only really started 2 months ago, with serious study. So I would say, don't listen to me. Just keep doing what you're doing. Like, you're on the right track. You're on the right path. And yeah, keep doing what you're doing, because it's working. It's working really well. What are you doing? Like, what is your strategy? Like, are you watching YouTube videos? Are you working out of a book? What are you doing?
Nothing is strategy, sir. I'm doing practice by only speaking, and sometimes I'm listening videos on YouTube, like Alina Rice Nam and some famous YouTubers. And apart from this, when I'm reading to students, on that time I read even a single sentence in my classroom, so I get to know about the meanings of words. And yes, listening and speaking, I'm focused.
That's great. Because reading is really important. Reading is going to help you build your vocabulary. A lot of students skip the reading part. They just want to talk. But I do encourage my students to read. I think it's good to read because it builds your vocabulary and also helps you understand the grammar. Not like from a grammar book, but I'm talking about just like how, native speakers understand this internally. We know the grammar, just like in your native language, you understand the grammar rules. Not, you might not know all the names of the, parts of speech and everything, but you understand, generally speaking, the rules of the language. And so that's going to help with understanding the rules of the language and building vocabulary, and then speak as much as possible. I mean, this is I think you're doing, I think it's a great idea, like to have conversations on your YouTube channel with other people who are learning English. It doesn't have to be native speakers. It could be anybody, but you're just speaking and just using the language. That's really, really important. And I think you're going to grow so much faster than somebody who's studying out of a book but never speaks.
Right. So, on which time when I will read something, because I don't like to read too much and I get bored. I feel
Yeah.
many times. So, when I will read, so on that time, how to read? Like only sentences, and by this way, I have to learn some vocabs, because many vocabs are there in any single page. So, how to read properly for a beginner?
there's no right or wrong way to read. What I recommend is find something that you're interested in. What do you like to read? Or what are your hobbies? What do you like? If you like cricket, read about cricket. Read the cricket news. If you like football, read about football. If you like to, I don't know, if you like to cook, then read about cooking. Something like that. It really just comes down to reading things that you're interested in. Don't read things that you don't like. If you don't like the news, don't read the news. But if you have a hobby that you really enjoy, then read about that, but read about it in English instead of your native language. That's what I tell my students. I'm like, all right, if you love sports so much, why don't you read about the sports news, but do it in English. Don't read about it in Korean. Read about it in English. Go to an English website and read about it in English. And I find that it helps my students.
So, sir, my last question is, if any person would like to come in your place in Korea, so which place is want to see? They want to see, and it is famous. And what is the culture of the people? Like,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you're going to come to Korea for a short time, then you got to just go to Seoul. Seoul is the big capital city. There's so many things to see there. It's such a cool city. You have to, number one, you have to eat Korean barbecue. That's like a really important thing. You have to, just walk around the city, go to Gangnam, Apgujeong. If you're young and you like clubs, you can go to Hongdae, is another area that's really popular. There is a mountain, Gwanaksan. You can climb the mountain. You can walk up the mountain. You can visit. There's just so many things to do. Great restaurants, great people, lots of nightlife. It's just a very fun, bustling city. And so I would say, yeah, definitely go to Seoul and just walk around and check it out. It's a huge city, but it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Yeah.
please, thanks. And it was a just lovely conversation. Sir, do you have any question?
No, I just want to say thank you so much for having me on your channel. And do you mind if I advertise my my podcast really quickly? I have a podcast called the A to Z English Podcast, and I do this it's an English language learning podcast, and it's audio only, so there's no video.
I watched and listened your video.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you listened to it. Yeah, we do lots of different episodes. We have lots of different topics, language tips, idioms, conversations, just lots of different things that we do on the A to Z English Podcast. And my partner, Sochil, she's an American also, but she's really cool. She's really smart, a great co-host, and we have a lot of fun together. So I would love for our podcast to become popular in India. That would be really exciting for us. So thank you.
Watch and subscribe your channel, and I will watch your whole videos.
Thank you.
And share also.
Yeah, same. I've already subscribed to your channel, so you're on my you're in my feed already on YouTube.
Sir, thanks for giving me your precious time again, and it was just a lovely conversation. And we will meet again if you will have time.
Absolutely, yeah. Anytime, reach out, and I'm happy to come on your channel. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Anjali. I appreciate it, and thank you to your viewers out there. Okay.